still tuned in to News and Views with myself, Salailo Makudiri. The time is 20 minutes past 9 Central African time. And we're still, trying to have a really, really important conversation with Dr. Amir Ismail, a dental student in Gaza and a YouTuber. He's also an activist on social media trying to show the world the reality in Gaza by his vlogs, and also to remind everyone that the people of Gaza, the sons of dignity and hope. And we trying to, get insight, trying to reconnect with the people of Gaza after a very, very devastating period in their history, to understand what reality looks like for them at this current point. And he's joining us telephonically. Doc, can you hear me now?
Yes, right now I can hear you as well.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. Before we lost you there, I just wanted, some insight on what does daily life in Gaza look like right now. It's been quite a devastating time in the last 3-4 years. From your perspective, what does it look like around you right now? Are they rebuilding efforts? Are people trying to piece their lives back together? What does day-to-day living look like?
I got you. Thank you so much, first of all, for the invitation. What an honor for me. And all respect to all the people who they are still listening and they care about the situation in the Gaza Strip. Right now, these days, the situation in the Gaza Strip in general, after the so-called ceasefire, as they call it, and after the yellow lines, still until this moment, many parts of the Gaza Strip are still under occupation. The people cannot cross the yellow zones. Still until these days, thousands and thousands of people who they are still living in a small tents. And yes, not yet. Most of the buildings are still destroyed, and it's really, really hard and a slow process of rebuilding. Like it's really hard to rebuild because even after the so-called ceasefire, still they are bombing and still they are doing all the hate and all the violence as well.
Mm.
And yeah.
One thing that I think was interesting, and I think it's what directed us to try and speak to, is the fact that you've been documenting your experiences online. Why was that so important for you to share with the rest of the world what's currently happening in Gaza, post the headlines and the different news platforms, and some of them, they're biased reporting? Why was it so important for you to give that first hand I think
Yeah.
experience for the people outside on the realities of Gaza?
Yes, actually, that's really, really important. And we all know that activism is really important. And we have to speak up and we have to raise our voices and we have to show the reality and about what is happening right here in the Gaza Strip and how they do all of this hate and violence in a very silent way. So we have to be the voice of the voiceless. And it is an extreme honor to me to show and to document everything that's happening in the Gaza Strip. And I'm just like a normal person, document my daily routine and vlogs and all this stuff on YouTube and Instagram. We have to show the entire world what is happening in the Gaza Strip so we can educate some people about what is going on in the Gaza Strip as well. So that's why.
And I think it's very, very important to do that because on social media there's this, I don't want to call it a trend, but these posts that I've been seeing, especially coming from the Zionist side of social media, where they're showing newly built restaurants and cafes and coffee shops in Gaza City, trying to almost give the world the impression that everything is back to normal, and to almost relegate the conversation of Gaza and the rest of the world, talking about the humanitarian crisis that has unfolded post the genocide. Do you see a lot of those? Are those a reality? What we're seeing, these images and videos of these new built buildings and coffee shops and what seems to be life returning back to normal, or is that just Zionist propaganda?
Yes, I got you. Actually, these days, let me just tell you about the Gaza before the war, before the 2.5 years, especially in these genocide. First of all, we are under occupation since 75 years ago, and especially these horrible 2.5 years in this war, still it's continuing this genocide on the Gaza Strip. Let me tell you, these coffee shops and these restaurants that you can see, like Gaza Strip before the war, it was full of restaurants, full of coffee shops. It was full of schools, universities, companies, buildings, and many, many, many other things that we can talk about, and we all know it, and we have saw it on social media platforms. Since these 2.5 years in this genocide, everything got completely destroyed. Like really a massive destruction that happened to the Gaza Strip, and we lost many, many things. So these days, people of Gaza are trying to rebuild by themselves. Like some people, they try to open a small coffee shop, like in a small tent.
Mm,
Some people are trying to find other alternatives to find like just they build a small school from a tent. Just they wanted to continue. They wanted to get the education as well. So that doesn't mean that the war is over, but this is like just a kind of, let's say, as a resilience people and the people of Gaza, they are trying to keep going despite all the problems. But if we wanted to say about rebuilding, no, there is nothing got rebuilt as well. But we are trying to rebuild in a small ways just to keep going in this hard time. So that's it.
very, very important. Let's talk about you, personally, and how, this genocide has affected you on a personal level. You're a young person, you were, studying, at this point. From your perspective, when you can give a recollection of how you were affected on a personal level, your family, and,
Yeah,
some
yeah,
of the notable events from this genocide that you remember and will always stay with you.
yeah, for sure. Right now, like my home was in the north of the Gulf, and right now, as we are on this call, right now I'm talking to you from the south of the Gulf. As I'm at this until this moment after the so-called ceasefire. They forced me like personally to displace 17th time. They keep sending in evacuation orders, and we all know that. And this is also documented on my YouTube channel.
Mm,
Something else that happened in the 17th time of displacement after I left the home, they completely destroyed my home. And right now, my home is just about to rubble. So me and the family, right now, we are displaced in a small tent. And I'm talking to you right now at these moments from my tent as well. So this is not only my story, this is the story of millions and millions of people in the Gulf Strip who they lost their homes, who they lost their dreams, jobs, and everything as well. And they are trying to keep going despite all of these problems and all these situations as well.
mm,
So yeah,
humanitarian catastrophe, essentially. And we're hearing about, the efforts like the global Sumud Flotilla, that are trying to make inroads to try and, break the blockade on Gaza. You've spoken quite extensively on it. I've spoken to a lot of activists that are actually on the flotilla. But I think it's
yeah.
very, very refreshing to speak to someone that's on the other side. What does this initiative mean, to people on the ground in Gaza when you watch it unfold, knowing that there's tens and thousands of people from all over the globe on all walks of life, who are risking their lives, for the people of Gaza to try and block this blockade, this siege, and to make sure that humanitarian aid does enter. I think we saw, I think it was this past weekend, where some activists, were captured and they were taken to court, and it's a whole thing that the Zionist regime is now currently embarking on to make sure that they don't reach Gaza, or they don't spread the awareness as the global Sumo flotilla has during the past years. From your perspective, as someone in Gaza, do you see these kind of initiatives, and how do you interpret them?
Yes, actually, this is a really, really important mission. It's a humanitarian mission, and we are in Gaza. We appreciate all of these efforts, and we are watching everyone is doing like these beautiful and powerful actions. This is a humanitarian mission, and they are trying to sail towards the Gulf Stream to break this illegal siege. So, what an honor for us that still some people they care and they wanted to break this illegal siege in Gaza. So, actually, most of the people in Gaza, when we see these actions on social media platforms, we feel that we are not forgotten. We feel
Mm,
that there is still a humanity in the world. We feel that still some people do care as well. So actually, these actions are really important, and they fear it really. And there is a and this like even if we want to talk about the global Sumud Flotilla, it make a really really big difference when they sail towards Gaza, and we feel it here in the Gulf Strip. So hopefully we will make it to Gaza and they will break this illegal siege. And one day we will celebrate with the freedom of Palestine. One day with everyone, inshallah.
amen.
So just a message to all of them and all the actors who are doing this. So may Allah bless them all, and we respect them really, really so much. And we hope that there will be more and more actions like this, because when we are all united, this illegal siege must be. We will break this illegal siege as well. So we have to do the best that we can for the freedom of Palestine.
Most definitely. Lastly, before I let you go, Amir, what are your hopes and dreams for Gaza right now, for the nation itself, for you personally, and for all the people of Palestine, as a young Palestinian who's still in the country at this moment?
So come again, come again. I can't just hear you at these moments.
What would you say are your hopes and dreams at this current moment for the people of Gaza, for the nation of Gaza, as a young
Yeah.
Palestinian, who's still in the country right now, and who's resisting, I think, which is an effort that is very, very commendable.
Yes, yes, I got you. I hope that there will be a real peace, a real happiness all around the and all around the Gaza Strip as well. Hope that the children of Gaza they will live in a complete and a real and happiness, and they will enjoy their lives as how all the children all around the world. As you know that like the children of Gaza these days, the like instead of playing with their toys right now, they are carrying gallons of water. Right now, they are fighting for food, and this is stuff just with the 5 years old. So I hope that there will be a real day of the freedom of Palestine, a real day for peace and happiness in Gaza, Strip, and there will be no war, no genocide. This is what we hope as a people in Gaza Strip, and hopefully, we hope that we will get our education as we deserve as a
Mm,
student. We hope that there will be like before there will be like schools, universities, even homes, buildings, inshallah, one day that Palestine will be free and we will live our life as how we deserve because all the people of Gaza are sons of dignity, sons of hope and resilience.
most definitely, Dr. Amir Ismail from South Africa. We share the same hopes and dreams that you have, and I hope we chat again soon.
Thank you so much. What an honor for me. Thank you so much for the invitation and big love to all of you guys.
Thank you so much. That was Dr. Amir Ismail,
Nice to meet you all.
a dental
Have a nice
student
day.
and activist in Gaza, offering us a very, very powerful and deeply human perspective from inside a besieged territory. And it'll be interesting to chat to him once again, to try and peel back the layers of how the genocide has affected the people of Gaza and how this new phase of their lives looks like. Are they rebuilding efforts? What's next? After more than 3 years of a devastation of a genocide that has taken so much from them. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, news and views continues.